Ladies and gentlemen, it's live, and it's a Saturday night. On the Chrissy Ann Show. On tonight's panel, Nick is out on a gig somewhere in outer space playing drums.
And deep within a dungeon in Transylvania, Father Menace.
Unbelievable, Chrissy Ann. And all that doesn't matter because it's after midnight here on the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Chrissy Ann Show.
Hello, YouTube. Hello, family. Hello, Patriots. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's Saturday night, and you guys are here hanging out with us. This is awesome. We got a full. You guys never fail to surprise me with the love and the amazing people already in here. We have God Bless America, Elijah, Shalom, my friends, Disables Vax Perspective, and Dolores. You guys, welcome everyone. It's Saturday night, and 12B is in here after midnight. Yes, it is after midnight, but it's sunny California. Well, it's kind of not so sunny and kind of stinky California. It's 9 o'clock.
Hello.
Hello, and DM's in here. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So tonight we're going to be, it's Father and me. Just you and I. Just you and I. No, Nick.
No.
I'm staying fat.
No, Nick.
Mm-mm.
He's playing drums.
Mm-hmm.
He's goofing off.
Mm-hmm.
He's not at his post where he's supposed to be.
Should we fire him?
I think he should be not fired yet, but he should be. Well, we need to give him a talking to first.
Okay.
And you know the special room for that.
Yes, I do.
We're not take him in the special room. Have a talking to, and we shall see.
Okay. We're not supposed to talk about it. Remember the cops, the whole story? It just got really ugly.
Yeah.
I'm still paying the fines on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, yes, Nick is off playing a gig tonight. So yeah, he won't get any extra Skittles tonight. So that's just the way it is. But yeah, disabled vet, he's everywhere. So I like my Twitter and I like to play with my Twitter and stuff like that. And I came across, hello, Matthew. I came across this article, and I want to refrain from reading articles to you, but because California's faculty's votes to boot Chick-fil-A off of campuses. They compare Chick-fil-A chain to pornography. I'm going to say that again. They are comparing Chick-fil-A to pornography. Like, what the heck? Seriously? Oh my gosh. The values our country has, the values our country was built on, the liberties and the freedoms, they are trying so hard to undermine all of that. They want to destroy anything that holds value, who holds morality anymore. It's just like, it's mind-boggling. Like, what the heck is going on? Seriously. If anything, Chick-fil-A is needed more on campuses than anything else right now. It boggles my mind.
They're just mad because it's not open on Sundays.
Maybe. Like, and what's wrong with that? What's wrong with having a day of rest?
No, nothing. If I was gonna have to work at a fast food restaurant, if I was a teenager or whatever age, I'd want to work at Chick-fil-A because I'm like, man, I get Sundays off.
You get Sundays off. I mean? That's a weekend with your family.
Yeah, Sundays are off, and we're like, let's go to the amusement park, let's go to the beach. Mm-hmm. Let's dig that hole that we've been procrastinating on. Whatever.
I know. You never know when you need a hole in the
Yeah, got to do an oil change, whatever.
Yeah, right. So yeah, and so I guess like Cal Poly, this is on the Cal Poly campuses. Chick-fil-A's, I didn't realize Chick-fil-A was that old. Chick-fil-A has been there for 25 years. And they're booting them because they're comparing them to porn. They're like, we don't sell porn in the bookstores. They're like, well, our students' money is going to a company that that funds things that are against our values. What do they fund that's against your values? Because they're Christians? Because they tithe to a church? Because Chick-fil-A, because it was really funny because I think it was somebody who was wanting to boycott Chick-fil-A. And it turns out when they did boycott Chick-fil-A, when they lied about Chick-fil-A has actually donated to the Democrat Party as well as the Republican Party. And when they boycotted Chick-fil-A, their stock actually went up and their revenue went up. So that they really just yeah.
Yeah, they tried that. They tried that ridiculous boycott, and here in Florida, the lines were around the restaurant and down the street. You're like, what is going on here? Is there you're driving your car? You're like, is there an accident? What's going on? Because you see cars lined up, or there's an accident or something. They're like, oh no, it's people waiting to get in Chick-fil-A because they tried to pull this nonsense.
Yeah,
and it blew up in their face as usual.
Now, do you guys have in your area? Does the Chick-fil-A, when you go and order, do the people come out of the restaurant and take your order from your car? Hello. No?
What's that? Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Or in the chat too.
I thought you. Okay. Excuse me. I thought you were talking to people in the chat for a minute. Yeah. Well, what they do is they have like these tablets. They hold these tablets and they're Bluetooth. Like they're hooked onto the Wi-Fi into the restaurant. So they're wireless, and they as what they do is they go down the cars that are in line. They go down and they get people's orders. So instead of you're in line, you're waiting to get up to the intercom. They have 3 people out there that walk up to the cars. So you don't even have to go to the intercom at that point. You just go up and pay. It makes it move. It makes the line move much faster because people. Especially on not on Sundays, but like I think Saturday, they have these specials with the they have this basic chicken sandwich that they make, and it really is just breaded chicken and just the bun, and it tastes great. And the way that they make the chicken, so that's what they do is they have people out there taking your order. It's very efficient. Not only that, the restaurant is run very efficient compared to other fast food restaurants.
Oh yeah, and
that aren't not.
I just love it. They make me happy because you guys all know my dogs go everywhere with me. So whenever I go there, they're always saying like hi to the dogs and all that kind of stuff. And it's so like I don't know, it makes me happy. But when that boycott came out, I think I went to Chick-fil-A more. I made more of an effort to go to Chick-fil-A. But Elijah says, I like what he says. There are no Chick-fil-A's in heaven, absolutely. But we will have a feast though. There is going to be a feast waiting for us for his bride. So yeah.
Yes. So all the people here in Florida, especially disabled vet and stuff, he's like, the line is a mile long, and that's no joke.
Yeah.
It merely is. I mean, it's I think it's on like Saturdays. The line is always long, especially after 5 o'clock when people are getting off work and they want to get some dinner or something. And even lunchtime during the week, the line is pretty long as well. It's the most popular fast food restaurant. So you're here in Florida. I mean, I know that in other parts of the country, it's not there yet, but
yeah. Hello, the great douchebag is in here. Hefner's in here. Patty, right? It's Patty. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's just they continue to berate us and
No fun. No fun.
no,
No
no.
fun. Or they
No. If you're Christian, you are going to be persecuted now. That's just the way it is.
pretty
It's
soon they're going to go after bikinis. They're going to say, "Man, girls can't wear bikinis now." You
well,
know.
you're gonna have to go naked.
Well, I mean, hey, I mean, there's nude beaches. I mean, just go to a nude beach for that. But I'm just saying that pretty soon they'll say no bikinis, and they'll want women to go back to early 1900s where they had that. What was it? It was like almost like an old weightlifter's outfit or something. What
We had
was that thing?
the burqa bikini or the burqa suits on the Sports Illustrated. That was hilarious. Like that is just like the way the burqa bikinis or whatever they are.
Yeah.
It's against Islam because it's still showing off a woman's curves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me it's against Islam, but it's a way to introduce Islam. It's a way to just start conditioning the masses. It's the way to start to introduce it. People are against it, but it's the way our morals have been undermined. It's just a little bit at a time. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's what, if we forego just this little bit, life will be funner. You don't have to be so rigid, and it just keeps progressing and progressing and progressing. And look at where we're at right now. I mean, our schools are teaching children the most disgusting, horrid things right now. With kids having to learn, the anatomy in kindergarten. That's not a school's place. That stuff needs to be left to the parents. And then too, the other thing that when I went to go talk with our assembly person, which I have to make. I told you guys I meant to go. I met with our congressperson. No, I met with our assembly person for the district out here. So that was a correction. But yeah, there was another thing for the vaccines, that this vaccine that they're making mandatory. Now, being a nurse, I definitely believe in vaccinations, but the problem is you need vaccinations, right? But there are some vaccines that I don't think you need. And the research, so when medical stuff, evidence comes out and stuff like that, like when vitamin C was really big. If you got a cold, you got to have vitamin C, vitamin C, vitamin C. Well, when you do research, or when you read somebody's research, you need to know about the researcher. You need to know where they got their information from. You just can't read something because it's been published and believe it. So this researcher basically was injecting himself and his wife with a cold, and they didn't have they didn't have anything to compare it to or anything. So as far as research is concerned, it was just totally garbage. So when there is medical research out there, it's always best to see if it's been peer reviewed, like the journal for the American Journal for Medicine. That is usually a really good source because that stuff is peer reviewed. Yeah, so a lot of the vaccines out there, like the HBP, none of that has been really researched properly, and there's been a lot of adverse reactions to it. So if you're homeschooling your kid, or your kid's in a charter program, and your kid doesn't need the HPV vaccine, it's ludicrous. And then the flu vaccine, I gave flu vaccines for about 3 or 4 years, and the flu vaccine that we were giving, and I worked in a few different facilities, it was the same strain every year. It was was even the same lot number. And that to me was just like, wow.
I've never had a flu vaccine, and I'm an asthmatic. Never. I won't take one.
There's to me, it's been useless. I've seen people who've had it and religiously get it, and they get the flu 2 or 3 times a year. They're thinking in their head, well, good thing I got this vaccine because I would have had a worse year. Like, no, because here's the thing. Here's the thing that's very suspicious about the flu vaccine. So when you get a vaccine and it is antibodies, or if it's part of the virus, so you're getting the virus. It's not a live virus; it's a dead virus. So you're getting basically. So the virus can. Do you guys want quick anatomy lessons? I'm gonna do this real quick for y'all. Tell me if this is boring. But anyways, so you got a little virus right there, and it's got little, tentacles, and it comes in there, right? So when you get a vaccine, you don't get that. You get this, you get a little bit of that, and it's cut into pieces, and you get a little bit of that and this. So the vaccine's like kind of cut into pieces. And so your body says, hey, that doesn't belong here, and then makes antibodies for it. So that's a dead virus vaccine, right? In simple terms. So that's what you're getting. But here's the thing. The virus that they're getting vaccinated for is a future virus. So how in the heck do they have a vaccine for a future virus? That's the thing that I'm not comprehending. I could be missing something. If somebody's out there can give me the info on that and how that's done, I could be wrong, but that just seemed makes me a little bit skeptical.
You need to go back to that whiteboard and finish off that pictures. You need to put 2 eyeballs, nose, neck, shoulders, arms. I mean, you can't stop there.
Like the beginning of like Father Menace, Look at what
you need to.
Oh, look at the eye there. And then there's like this. That, and there's like that. They're like, that's Father Menace right now.
I mean, you gotta do it. Hold on for a second. If you're gonna do that, in the background, there's got to be a wooden fence and a rolling green pasture and a tree just right off to my side. It's a fall. It's during the fall and the leaves are changing color. I mean, come on.
This is not the Chrissy Ross painting.
No. I mean, this is like going to JCPenney's in 1984 and getting your picture done.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
They're switching the backgrounds, and they got the countryside background. They got the whatever type backgrounds for children or.
Yeah, it's I'm reading some of your guys' chats in here.
I mean, this is ridiculous with these vaccines. I mean, it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna cause some sort of super bug that's gonna wipe everybody out.
Well, yeah, and Elijah said something about there are good vaccines, and that's the problem is you get one person like the HPV vaccine who, like I said, like from what I understand and from the information that I've been able to get my hands on, I'm not trusting it. But the problem is there are good vaccines out there. And so this one vaccine everybody hears about and gets scared about doesn't want to do any vaccines. And so now we have like a measles outbreak. And, that measles is not a good thing to get. That's something you definitely need to vaccinate for. And, and the chicken pox and the shingles, those are vaccines, and polio, you definitely want to, make sure you get all of that stuff because there are cases of polio coming back up. There was pretty much polio was eradicated. Now there's cases it's coming back. And that's the problem is, we don't know what's being altered or messed with too. So it sucks.
Yeah, no, not for me. Not for me.
Yeah.
No.
We need a little happy tree over here. Oh, and happy clouds. Is that what you're talking about, Matt?
Well, I mean,
that is for sure. Let your kids be dirty. Let them eat bugs.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you have a general. I mean, just the other day I saw when I was out driving around. I was going through this part of the neighborhood, and I think this was Clearwater or something. And when I came in, I saw neighborhood kids out running around and playing and all that. And I was trying to think what generation, because I think it's right before Z, because my daughter is Generation Z. So I think it's right before Z.
Mhm.
And I don't know, maybe these kids, maybe it was just this neighborhood, but all the kids were out running around and playing, which is a good thing, instead of, you know, sitting down, drinking Mountain Dew and eating Cheetos and playing video games.
Mhm.
They were out running around. The whole
Yeah.
neighborhood was. I was like,
Oh,
wait
yeah.
a second here, what's going on?
We had to be in before the lights were, when the sidewalk lights came on. That's was, you had to be in before they came on, and that was the rule.
Yeah, well, that's where you were at.
Mhm.
Where I was at, it was completely different in the South Philly area.
Mm.
Yeah, it was almost like a free for all almost. You know, the lights are down, you're still out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember, dirty, my knees bloody
Mhm.
from falling off my bike or getting in a fight with somebody.
Yeah.
We're playing some sort of insane game of tag where we're like throwing each other around. That was scabs and bloody and dirty,
Oh.
and yeah, your immune system, that's good for kids.
Well, yeah, and
You
the
know,
is a natural antibiotic. If you get a cut or something,
hmm
everybody so like, and that's the problem too. Like everybody has MRSA. I know I have. If you pretty much almost everybody has MRSA. So if your immune system is ever compromised, you're gonna get an infection. And there's only a certain amount of antibiotics that can kill it. And if your body becomes immune to those antibiotics, like vancomycin, you, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. And the problem is that antibiotics have been so overprescribed that, and then people don't take them properly. So you get like a pack of, a Z pack or whatever, and you start feeling good for the first, after 3 days of taking it. So you stop. You're like, I'm not sick anymore. Well, here's a problem: is that you've killed the weak bacteria, and you made the stronger bacteria dormant. They're not quite dead yet. And what happens is they mutate. And so now you're going to turn around and get sick a few days later. And the strain you have is going to be much more stronger and much more harder to get rid of. So, but now your body's immune to but you have enough that antibiotic that it's not really working anymore. So, and that's the problem. And then too, with everything is antibiotic is your hand soaps are antibiotic this, antibiotic that. The meat we eat is antibiotic. The milk we drink, all of these antibiotics that we're consuming is only one. It kills our normal flora. I thank you, Elijah. I'm reading. He's bringing up some very good topics. Is like it kills your normal flora, so you're going to be projecting. You're going to be in a problem with other issues because we need normal flora. There's normal flora in our bodies, in and out and around. Like we are covered head to toe in bacteria. Not all bacteria is bad, and yeah, it's.
Yeah, no, I don't want to live under an electronic microscope like some people do. No thanks. Some people want to live that way.
Elijah says, no, I'm promoting a lie. No, young lady, that's not what's happening. Absolutely wrong. What am I wrong with? Lies about weaker and stronger. Huh? MRSA is treated by a lot of stuff. Lies that nothing treats it. I didn't say nothing treated it.
Uh-oh.
Well, infection diseases control doctors is human. Management doctors of death. The Nazi doctors who experiment on say you live or die. Well, I don't know, Elijah. Today, the world HIV is really syphilis. Okay. But anyways.
Uh-oh. The controversy continues, ladies and
Nothing
gentlemen.
resistant to antibiotics. I don't know. I've been in a laboratory, so I've actually conducted experiments with bacteria, so I would have to disagree with you. So, but anyways, we can agree to disagree and still love each other. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we're not promoting anything. We're talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, promoting is, you know, something completely different. Like, here you go, right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Try it for 6 months. Try for 6 months free. If you don't like it, return the bottle.
Well, antibiotics do heal, but people need to take them properly. That's the problem. Is the antibiotics are very useful and very productive, and they're very, very useful, right? But the problem is they're being overprescribed. What the problem is, they're being overprescribed, and they're not being taken properly, and that's where the problem lies. That's that's where it's at. And here's the thing: is it doesn't kill every. If you only take half of the prescribed antibiotics, you're only killing the weaker part of that strain. So if you don't take that entire package or that whole script of medication prescribed to you, that illness, that bacteria is going to come back with vengeance. So that's my point, is it's being overprescribed. I'm not saying the antibiotics are bad. Antibiotics are very good. They can be life-saving, but you have to take them properly, and you have to be aware of overdoing it. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I guess what some of these people are talking about is like, you know, the entire planet has been oversaturated with, you know, antibacterial this and too many antibiotics. When you know, some people can just fight it off with their immune system instead of, you know, taking antibiotics. I mean, it all depends. I mean, you got some people that are really, really old. They need to have, and then you have people that are a certain age group where they're just healthy and they can, if it's, you know, they can fight, their immune system will fight it off. They don't need to take anything, but it's just overprescribed.
Yeah, it is over.
You know, we all know that. We're not promoting anything. And as far as big pharma poison, I don't take big pharma anything. I don't take anything. I try to do it all on my own. But I did last year get my lungs were so inflamed that I did have to get on steroids briefly and a small antibiotic to knock it out initially. And then once that was knocked down, then I just stopped. You know, I let my immune system do the rest. But I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, there, and too, like, you know, I'm in medicine, right? Well, not currently, but you know, I promote Western medicine, right? But I also understand Western medicine and the engine behind it, and unfortunately, the engine behind a lot of the pharmaceutical, the major engine behind most of the pharmaceutical companies is great, and it's money. And so what happens is, when you go to your general practitioner has like 10 minutes. That's it. So he has to diagnose, prescribe, talk to you, educate you in 10 minutes, which is absolutely impossible because it takes about 10 minutes just to say hello and how are you, you know, in a normal conversation. And the problem is they'll just diagnose you with just the basic information, prescribe you this medication, and they're usually prescribing you medication for your symptom. They're not looking into the reason why you're having that symptom. And that's a huge problem because, like, say for instance, you know, my father, we'll use my father, for example. My father fell and he would pass out all the time. He was taking 21 medications. 21. He was 65-ish at the time. And he was passing. We'd have these episodes where he'd bend down and he'd pass out. It's called hyperstolic blood pressure. So he would, oh shoot, my nursing brains. Anyways, so he basically the blood pressure would drop and he'd pass out. Well, he had done it, and he would never let me go with him to the doctors or anything. So finally, he passed out and he broke his leg, and he broke it like really, really bad. Like he twisted it. It was not hanging in the right position. So he finally, I got to talk to his doctors because he spent a week in the hospital. And they wanted to send him to a nursing home. And he's like, no, I've got my own nurse. And I was like, no, I don't know. Anyways. So I went in and I, went through his medicines, and he was taking 20 medications. He was taking blood pressure medications. He was taking diabetes medication. He was taking medication for epilepsy because he had myasthenia gravis. No, not epilepsy, MS. Because he's taking medicine because he has myasthenia gravis. And I think that was it. So that was basically his diagnosis: diabetes, high blood pressure, and myasthenia gravis, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks your muscle. So he was taking all these medications. Well, these medications were indicated to each other. So that's why he was passing out, because of these medications, because they were treating the symptom and not the cause. If they would have spent 20 minutes with him, explaining to him what these medications were and why he could take it and how he could change his lifestyle with just some small tips, he wouldn't have to take those medicines. So what we did was we cut the soda out of his life, replaced it with tea and stevia. We cut out the cookies for breakfast and ice cream. We replaced it with yogurt, and that was it. And more water. His blood pressure went down. His diabetes went away. And his myasthenia gravis, he went from 21 pills to 1 pill. And all of his vitals were normal after that. And that was it. And he just he basically would take his diabetes medication. He'd take extra before he go play poker so he can have more candy when he played his poker. I was like, oh my gosh. So I explained to him how how insulin works and where it comes from, and where, you're actually making your diabetes worse when you do that. So it's just, we do need medicine, but we need to be aware of when and how to take it, and we need to be educated. So that's kind of.
Yeah. Basically, the world's an imperfect place. And we all just need to figure it out, basically. What's good, what's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving along, is there anything from news from the absurd lately?
Well, now that we are off of that subject, see what else is going on here. It's being kind of quiet, but there's a little bit of turning of the tables going on with Brennan and Comey. They're placing the blame on each other. So now we're getting past the Trump issue, and now they're no longer denying that this dossier or this investigation was a hoax. Now they're blaming each other. Brennan's blaming Comey. Comey's blaming Brennan. Brennan's like, hey, I was just doing my job. And Comey was in charge of the investigation. So, but they're both in cahoots. We know it. We know it. But you got to think about it. If you're going to be in bed with people who want to destroy America, do you think that the people, when the stuff hits the fan, do you think those people are going to back you up? Come on, seriously.
There is no honor among thieves. Period.
No.
I mean, since we're on the news of the absurd, we need to actually play the music of news from the absurd. Ladies and gentlemen, this is news of the absurd. We are now in the mind of the far leftist Democratic Party. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually inside the mind of the far leftist Democratic Party. It seems to be a vast, dark, empty space. Nothing to be seen other than cobwebs. No, I can't seem to find anything intelligent in here It's time for me to back out. I slowly back out of the darkness.
And here you go, back to light.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was only, like I said, there's no honor among thieves, and it was just a matter of time. I mean, I was like, okay, when is it going to happen? Because they're all going to start going after each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to happen. We all knew it, and of course, here it is, and it's a perfect move. I mean, the president really he did an unbelievable job of cornering the rats,
Mm-hmm.
and now that they're in that corner, they're all looking at each other, and now they're going to start attacking each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing it right now. So, Comey, Brennan, and what's his name?
Jeff.
Rosenstein.
Oh yeah, Rosenstein. Yeah, it was kind of funny how he quit. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take a little vacation. And Comey and his weird tweets. Are you trying to get in as much nature in before you're gonna spend the long stint and get them?
Yeah, he's another big bird.
And Trump is talking. I mean, Trump is talking hardcore words. He's talking jail sentences. He's talking. He's. I don't think he's going to be taking any of this lightly, and he shouldn't. And I think he has the majority of U.S. Americans backing him because we're tired.
Well, I mean, he's made the play. He's made the play. So all he has to do now is just sit back in his chair, put his feet up on the desk and his hands behind his head, and watch them go at each other. While 2020 is starting to, come, you can see it. You can actually see the finish. You can see the finish line. You're running. You can see it. 2020, the election is going to ramp up for 2020, and now he's put everything in place. He's pulled all the levers. He's done everything he needed to do. He's oiled all the gears and everything. The machine is running, and now they're starting to go after each other. And it's going to continue to ramp up because they're all in a corner now, and there's no escape. So the only they're going to have to start going after each other. And you'll see that. You'll see the same thing on the Democratic side. By the whole, 20 people now, or 20 plus people that are running on the Democratic side? Well, I mean, now there's nothing. There's crickets. But as soon as it gets closer, you're going to see them all go after Biden. You're going to see them start attacking each other. And it's going to be the greatest show on earth. We don't have Barnum and Bailey bringing Barnum and Bailey circus any longer because of, well, we all know why.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be the greatest show on earth, watching them just go at it. And they're going to try to take Biden down first. That's the first guy.
Well, did you hear what's being rumored now as far as who his running mate? He's thinking about for his running mate.
Who? What's that again?
Kamala Harris.
Oh,
yeah, the rumor has it that Kamala Harris might be his running mate.
Oh, okay, for VP. Yeah, I mean, I heard that too. I mean, this is honestly, I think they all hate each other behind closed doors. You know what I mean? I mean, they're bad actors.
Well,
they're bad actors, and I don't think they hate each other pretty much. Except maybe a couple.
Who they're the party of killing babies. Who is going to have a heart? Who are the people who are promoting, who are ensuring, who are constantly oppressing? Because the people where they're at, as far as the level is concerned, they know exactly what they're doing. They didn't just get there by chance. To be in that club, they needed to ensure themselves as one of the players. And the understanding is, the whole Democratic Party is to oppress the people. They're the biggest liars. They promote on an issue that they created themselves in order to gain votes. And
Yeah, I mean,
people are catching on. It's that they got to where they're at on the name of tolerance. You're being intolerant, you're being inhumane, you're being this, you're being that.
Mm.
And the Christian ideology is to be loving, is to be, all inclusive. Even though that there are laws, God's laws and stuff like that, we're supposed to be forgiving, kind, loving, in hopes of, nurturing a seed that we planted in God's love. And here they're completely the opposite, completely. But they
well, I mean,
promote that same type of ideology, but not classified as Christian.
well, you have I think it's more than 20 people now.
Mhm.
So the majority of those people up there for running, they're in it for the money. Make no mistake, they know that they're never going to be president. They're never going to be elected. They're never going to be president, and they're not even serious. Now, that's a bunch of them up there. What I mean is they're in it for book deal money. They're in it for some sort of like, oh, I'm on CNN now. I was running for president, but now I got this CNN gig. Make no mistake, Bernie Sanders is a fraud. He's in it for the money. He's promoting a book. It's all about the book, and it's all about the money. I mean, there's hardly anybody on that side that's serious about running for president. I'll give you another example. You have Big Bird for New York City, who's like, oh, the mayor of New York City. I call him Big Bird, de Blasio. Anyways. So when he raises money for his campaign, guess what? If he decides, I don't know, I'm just going to get out. It's not my thing or whatever. He gets to keep the money.
Yeah. Well,
okay. It's about the money.
Well, some people are saying that the reason why they're running is because they can use that when it comes time for arrest, that they're going to say, well, he's just having me arrested because I'm running against him. So I think part of it is trying to save their own keisters.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is China Joe, and make no mistake, everyone needs to call him the president's calling him Sleepy Joe, and I'm hoping at some point the president catches on and changes it to China Joe, because that's who he is. It's China Joe. China Joe. I know that almost sounds like a Billy Joel song from 1980s or something. China Joe. Yeah, it's like in a bar somewhere playing his piano, and it's like China Joe. Oh, he's playing China Joe now. But yeah, he's China Joe, and he's in it. Look, all these politicians, it's become a joke. How long has it been since? Let's be frank here. What's up?
Somebody mentions and then Nick comes up.
Did you say something about me?
No, somebody in the chat, they thought Nick father was you.
Oh.
And so he was corrected.
Yeah, that's because I was going.
Yeah.
So what are you on break from slamming the skins or what?
Oh, you know what they cut? We cut a little early and we're DJing the rest. So I was like, listen, I got a show to do, son. Don't quit playing.
Yeah.
So wait a second. No, where was this? What part of the United States?
It's in Michigan, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a country club.
Oh, okay.
Fancy. Y'all fancy whatnot.
It almost to me sounds like a Caddyshack gig to me.
You know what? This place is like beautiful. It's gorgeous. Way above my pay grade. Put it that way.
Did they pay you in Skittles?
No, actually they pay in cash. It's really weird.
What?
I know, right? Because I'm like so used to getting paid in Skittles now that I almost kind of want to be like, dude, just send me Skittles.
You mean to tell me that they weren't trying to pay you with some sort of cryptocurrency, like some kind of new, like, oh, this is the slug currency. It's a new one. It's a brand new.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on.
What's going on?
He's getting arrested again because he sits in his van with night vision goggles.
I was getting my tip, man.
Oh, nice.
Was he stuffing it down the back of your pants or the front of your pants?
No, we all got $100 tip. It was nice.
Oh,
You
Oh.
pull up your pant leg
Oh.
and like expose your garter belt.
Mhm. So I was now I figured I would.
So
I
you wear
asked-
garter belts to your gigs? What the heck?
Yeah, I put them. Yeah, of course I do.
You
Who
don't
doesn't
wear
do
a
that?
garter belt for our show.
Why would I do that?
right now. Yeah.
I actually I like do my hair and like don't like I have to get dressed up and shit. It sucks. It's terrible.
Oh,
It's like pulling teeth.
Mm-mm.
so do you have to wear a bow tie or what?
No, not all of them. Some of them you do. It's pretty bad.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
man!
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like you got to buy the worst clip-on ties. You go to the thrift store, and they'll have a rack over there of clip-on ties of like 1970 or whatever.
Dude, if
And
you've ever
it-
dealt with weddings, that would never fly.
Oh man,
Ever.
you got to go in there with a pea soup clip-on tie from 1970.
Baby shit brown.
Yeah, oh yeah, too much of that brown polyester.
Yeah.
Ugh. God.
I figured I'd jump on for like the last few minutes, I
Mhm.
have to still tear my stuff down and everything, but
We
I know
have
you're
10 minutes.
you have what?
We have 10 minutes in the show.
I know. So
Yeah, we have 10, 15, 30, 40 minutes more.
well, if that's the case, then I'll hang up and pack up and then call you back on my way home. Chrissy's so strict on her 1 hour deal, so
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
I crack the whip.
No overtime. No overtime.
I'm like, oh, hey, Chrissy, everybody wants to hang out and wants us to stay on. She's like, no, not happening. I'm like, but they like you, and she's like, I don't care. 1 hour, that's it.
Yeah, it's like, Christy, I
I
really,
Guys, I love hanging out with you.
I really have to go to the bathroom, Christy. There
And
is no bathroom. There is no bathroom.
She's sitting there counting down the minutes. She's like, God, I can't wait to get off the phone with these idiots. Jeez. She's like, oh, sorry, the hour's up, guys. Sorry. And then 10 minutes later, she's on somebody else's live stream. I'm like, really?
That
I
is
see
not
how it
true.
is.
That's not
There is no bathroom.
not true.
Miss Chrissy, I have to go to the bathroom.
No,
There is no bathroom.
no mas bathroom.
No way, Kimosabi. This is my house now.
Effie doesn't feel love. We need to give love for Effie. Effie, we love you.
Why? Wait, hold on. Why? What?
No, the chat thinks I love them. That is so not true.
Oh, is it because they want? Is it because they want you to go far longer than an hour? Well, hey, I can't see the chat, guys. But if you want her to stay on longer than an hour, just put 1 in the chat. That'd be great.
There's a lot of frowns. There's a lot of emoji frowns.
Put a 1 in the chat so that way Chrissy knows that
down now.
she should stay on longer than an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, because if that's the case, I'll break down my stuff and then I could actually have a conversation and where I'm not like standing next to somebody that just got married. But
if we go just a little bit of overtime, then I'll have enough money to buy a can of soup.
Everybody's pressing 1. All right.
Told you. Okay, so I'm gonna jump off then, and then I'm gonna pack up. I'm gonna pack up, and then I'm gonna get the F out of here, and then I will hook my headphones up, and I will call you on the drive home.
All right.
Okay. All right. You better be on
tonight.
That's right. Overtime. Baby.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait. Don't go. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to have a station identification.
This is Brown Stain Fat, and you're listening to Quincy Ann on a Saturday night on her channel that's called The Quincy Ann Show. A Brown Stain Fat, and you've been listening to Father and Quincy. Nick's been out because he's slow, and yeah, that's been good. Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta go eat some gravy. Okay, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brown Stain Fat.
It's Saturday night, and we did our drive-by with the politics and all the other scientific nonsense. Now it's down for business. And you know what that means?
What? What does that mean, Father?
Means absolute nonsense.
Okay.
Absolute nonsense. 1000%.
Let's go hang out in the chat room for a little bit. So now that you guys I hope you guys feel loved now, because you should always feel loved. I've always loved you guys. Is that Hey 12B. So 12B wants to know what's going around here. So I just got guilted into not doing an hour show, but an hour and a half show because you guys weren't feeling loved. So I got to make sure you guys feel loved because you guys sure enough make me feel loved. So I've got to, we need that right back, right?
You gotta feel love.
That's
You
right.
gotta feel love. You got to feel love.
But we have, I guess there's a thing going on between CLC and
Uh-oh. What? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it some sort of soap opera thing? Is it some sort of Days of Our Lives thing or what?
What's going on? What? Tell us.
Like sands through the hourglass.
God bless America. Georgia in here. Nice.
Uh-huh.
America. Love you too,
America. God bless America. God bless America. I got my Walmart flag in my front yard. And you know, I put it up and I salute it every day. God bless America. That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, Nick is packing up his Charlie Watts drum set because that's what he has when he's traveling. It's a small little jazz kind of setup.
Right.
Well, I call it the Charlie Watts. He's like, oh, you know, what's this? I like, it's a Charlie Watts setup. I mean, come on. You know what I'm talking about? So anyways, what else is going on in this world? Just see. Absolutely. I mean, the menu of madness.
Well, we're gonna do Twisted Twitter when Nick gets on, because here's a story. Y'all know that I'm a little feisty.
Uh-oh.
I think we've made that pretty clear, right? So I'm a little feisty. So every once in a while, I go on Twitter because I like to get my feisty on, right? And I get these little dweebs, you know, thinking that I don't know, that I'm into geriatric hospice patients. I don't know, these old fake pictures. Actually, they're good looking older men, but I'm just, anyways. So they, you know, it's the same story. They work for the UN, they're a surgeon. And so I start having fun with these guys. I'm like, because like I know this is a scam, right? And so I was like, I'm curious to think, you know, they'll tell you they love you and they want to marry you within like the first 15 minutes of tweeting or of, sending.
Wait a second. What Twitter? What Twitter are you on? Is this like some sort of adult Twitter?
I'll read you one of them.
Is this? Yeah, here you go. Twit turd is exactly correct.
Because I have fun with these are turds.
Well, all these Silicon Valley, all these soy sipping Silicon Valley soulless a-holes, all these that we're on the platforms. It all sucks. So I'm hoping that us patriots are coming up with something, an alternative. I hope there's somebody in a garage somewhere, you know, doing all the coding and everything and coming up with something new that will completely obliterate Facebook and all that, and we can move on to something better that's not run by a bunch of snowflake crybabies.
Yeah, so this guy, his name is ERAM, right? I'm too lazy to do this for you, but his name is ERAM, right?
ERAM?
Uh-huh. That's it right there. Oops. Can you see it? Oh, hold on. So ERAM right there, right? So he's there, and I should our manicure. So you can tell because he's got all selfies. People don't go on Twitter to post selfies. That's what Facebook is for, right? It's politics or whatever. So he's following all these political chicks and posting selfies, and they're upside down. So anyway, so you know this is a fake account, and you can tell it's a fake account because, oops, let me go back to it. He's following 300 and he only has 200 or 20 following him. So you know this is a fake account. And two, And you look so beautiful. You look so beautiful. And guess what? When he gets messaged, I'm the one and only.
Beautiful to me.
So according to his bio,
Uh-huh.
I am military in U.S.
Military what?
That's what his bio says. I am military in U.S.
Oh, military in U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I mean, we
Not-
already know
US
it's
is capitalized.
fake.
And usually somebody in the military doesn't say I'm military.
Yeah, that's all. It's already fake.
Yeah. And they're going to say I'm in the Marine Corps, I'm a this or that. And yeah, and they're not going to say US anyways. So those are fake. So I'm like, I like to play with them.
Yeah, I love these foreigners that think they know how we talk or how we communicate and how we translate our dialect when we type it, and you can tell right away.
Mm-hmm.
You tell right away it's not somebody from America.
Mm-hmm. Well, usually when they start off with dear, it's like, who in the US calls anybody dear?
Me?
Your grandma calls you dear.
I say, "Why, hello, dear.
Yeah.
Hello."
So they always say, "Oh, you're so beautiful, dear." And I'll usually tell them, "No, my name's not dear."
Let's have a tea, please, dear.
so anyways, I'll enter depending on what I'm doing. If I have some spare time, if I'm like waiting at the doctor's, I'll enter them.
Dear, I'm military. I do job. That sounds like a Neanderthal. Military. Yeah, I'm military. I do job.
So I mess with them. And so they're like, "So what do you do for a job?" Or they're like, "Where are you from?" I'll be like, "I'm from here."
Yeah.
"Well, where do you live?"
Planet Earth.
"Where'd you come from?" "My mom."
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a double helix, and then there's the Y and the X, and you can go on and on. Yeah.
Yes, I know some Indian curse words. Shindiye. Yeah, and I can go tell them to go love a goat.
Yeah.
A goat is not. I know. I really confused Indian telemarketers. Who start speaking Hindi.
What are you talking about?
They'll be like,
I can't understand a damn thing you're saying.
they'll go,
Now listen,
"This is Pete. I am looking for Christian," and then I'll answer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hello?
If you need a tan, you can come to my tanning salon in Haggis.
So anyways, when the telemarketers come on, and they're like, "Yes, this is Peter, and I am looking for Christian." And
Of course.
uh,
Peter. Yeah, your name is not Peter. It's Sheetal. Come on, stop lying. It's not Tony.
it's Patel.
Yeah, it's Patel. It's Kutin Patel. Your name is not Tony or Steve. I mean, stop lying.
I like baseball.
I can't stand that. It's like It's like really these companies that tell these people in India to do that. They have a script and all that. It's like it's so insulting to all of our intelligence. It's like, really? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're Peter. All right.
Well, then, too, hello, this is, Peter. I am looking for Christian. And I'll be like, "Hanji?" And they're, "Yes, I'm looking for Christian." "Ha, Hanji?" "English, please." "Aap kaise hai?" "Your name is Christian." "Hanji."
Yeah, I love the IRS scams coming out of India. They're the best, man. I've gotten like 2 myself, and then my brother's gotten 1. Oh man, it's a perfect opportunity to just mess with these people,
Oh yeah. Oh, and then too, there was for a while we were like the warranties wearing out on your car, and my niece got one who's never owned a car.
Yeah,
yeah. It was like the whole family was getting them, and then finally, so I started answering the phone calls, and I answered like, "No, lady, is there what what car are you talking about? Let me go. And they're like, well, what car do you have? And I'm like, hold on, Annie.
What car you talking about?
You should have said, okay, so are you talking about my car, Christine? Is that the one you're talking about? The one that's possessed by a dead spirit? Is that what you're talking about? Oh no, what are you talking about?
Hello,
Christine.
we have a new subscriber. Thank you, Mark.
Hey, I need to have wait a minute, let's see what I got here. Let me see what I got here. Hold on. No, not that one. That one's like that's Close Encounters. No, not that one. Not that one. That's for our new subscriber, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new subscriber.
Irrational. So yeah, you know what we should do? We should have a glass of wine, and anytime we get a new subscriber, anybody, we take a glass of wine.
I'm gonna have it. Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna have me a bottle of Night Train. I mean, that's the best wine there is, man. We're talking 99 cents a bottle. I mean, it's the best. It's the best wine. I mean, you drink it. I mean, you can cook with it. I mean, you can, if you got mosquito bites, you rub that on the mosquito bites.
Ooh, is there mosquitoes in Texas?
Yes. Is that? Are you joking?
Mm.
Is that a joke?
No, I've never been to Texas.
Oh, that's because Southern California is not reality. I mean, every time I've been to Los Angeles, I'm like, oh my God, it hardly ever rains. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you know, as far as mosquitoes are concerned, it's if somebody has a swimming pool. I mean, it's not like, you know, when you're living in Louisiana or Florida. I mean, it's mosquito central. I mean, it's really, it's like I think people lose touch and they're in Southern California compared to the rest of the United States, where we're dealing with like, oh, it's 15 degrees below zero today, or here in Florida, it's like, oh, okay, here comes a thunderstorm. Okay, there's going to be like, I mean, the thunderstorms in Florida are so violent for 20 minutes. I mean, you think all hell's breaking loose.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then it passes by. I mean, you know.
I'm excited about that. Good thunderstorm.
Yeah. Well, down that south area, I mean, mosquitoes. Yeah. As far you know what? Yeah, I think so because the Gulf. It really kind of depends on how the wind is blowing and all that stuff. Because usually it's from west to east. So, you know, that's the reason why we're in the Gulf of Mexico. So it's west to east. So when you're in Florida, or in the Panhandle or the state of Florida itself, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. You get that west to east type of rain and thunderstorms and stuff like that. But what'll happen is like the heat will build up so much in that part of Texas, it'll just break out into a thunderstorm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm excited about is the thunderstorms. But yeah, not about the mosquitoes. I heard that if you have a lot of B12 or B vitamins in your system, they're less likely to bite you.
Huh. Well, I don't know about that because I got so much B vitamins in me, and they're always like trying to bite everything, my eyeballs and everything.
Oh, when I lived in Canada, it was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. You were where were you where the mosquitoes were horrible? Was that India?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we slept under mosquito nets at night. And
is that because of the Ganges River or what?
I was in Assam, and so I was there during monsoon season. But yeah, there's a lot of water in India, like standing water everywhere. I mean, the sewer system is exposed in the places I stayed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's just
the mosquito net just wasn't working.
No, I mean you can't. I mean it helps, but you can't avoid mosquitoes. Like one time I had a mosquito. I fell asleep and the mosquito net was on top of my head, and I had about 50 mosquito bites on my forehead. Right there.
You'd have to like walk around a beekeeper's outfit. You'd have to sleep in a beekeeper's outfit and then walk around the beekeeper's outfit.
they would tease me and said I was like candy to the mosquitoes because they would just be like, I mean, they would get bit too, but I don't know if it's the light skin that attracted them.
Those mosquitoes are like,
Man, this blood is really good. What's going on? This blood. Man, this blood. Man, this blood. Man, these Americans.
all of a sudden the mosquitoes over in India are like they're obese. They're fat that they can't even fly anymore because they're drinking American blood.
Like,
Blood is so full, like it's so full of like fast food and stuff like that. They're getting so fat. They're all laying on the sidewalks and stuff. Can't even move around any longer.
I know all that McDonald's being sucked out of me. No, because too, the thing is I don't like spicy food. So your choices are sugar or spice.
Ooh, wait a second. Sugar and spice.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like
Hot.
that's like something else. That sounds like something else.
No.
Isn't that a catalog that sells lingerie?
Sugar. I don't know.
I think so.
You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
So yes, overseas travels. I mean, I'm hoping that you can probably hear me wheezing. I'm hoping that I can make it to Britain. To the Great Britain, Ireland, Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
England
Mm-hmm.
before, and I'm praying to God that the British people fight back and don't allow Britain to just disappear into thin air.
Oh, London's gone. France is gone.
I mean, I don't, I talked to this couple that's from London, and I was asking them because you always,
What happened in the chat?
Fred goes, don't like spicy food? You won't eat my cooking. You'll poop in the poop emoji.
yeah. Man, look at the poop the poop is like surprised. The poop is like in shock.
Oh, hey Scott, just FYI, I put you in a website. I hope you don't mind.
Well, I hope now listen, I hope the UK is not long. I think honestly, to really understand, you need to be there on going into these towns, and I'm talking about all the outside of London, into like the middle part of England, and going into these small villages and towns and talking to the people and stuff like that to really get a sense, because the BBC is like, forget it, it's worse than CNN or MSNBC with propaganda. And I talked to this elderly couple that live in London. It was just random. I'm in a restaurant and they just wanted to talk to me because my black fingernails, okay? And I was talking to them about England and about treasonous May, because that's what they call her in England. You won't hear that being reported here. They say Theresa May, but they say, oh no, we call her treasonous May. And I'm like, well, I mean, she never was really elected, and she's not, she's no Iron Lady, let's put it to you that way. She's no Maggie Thatcher. But they said that it's things are, they said it's not as bad as it seems, is what they were telling me.
Mm-mm.
Now,
They lied.
okay.
That's like Nancy Pelosi saying that we don't have an immigration crisis.
Yeah, I understand that they had some age on them. They were in their mid-60s,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably want to have, I don't know, not such a downtrodden outlook on. I mean, that's their home. That's where they grew up. That's where they're from. They outside of London. This, that, another thing. And so I think honestly, it's going to take people like our program and other contact makers to be on the ground, talking to these people that live in these towns and villages,
Mm-hmm.
and getting them. They may be afraid to speak on in public. Maybe you got to be in a room somewhere where no one else is around or something. And maybe you probably would have to like blur out their face or something if things are that bad over there. I don't know. But I think to get a true understanding, that needs to happen. What is? What happened?
Sorry.
But yeah,
Probably
I
doesn't
mean,
because of the mic. We have mic issues today.
no, France.
Hey, we have a birthday girl in the chat right now.
Okay, who's
We need
that?
to sing a happy birthday song to her.
Now everyone in the chat has to sing happy birthday as well. I know some people are like, I'm not singing that, but everybody has to sing in the chat, and we need to. Listen, we can't hear you, but you need to start typing it. So I'm gonna count it down to 3. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and then everyone. I'm gonna give us just a little bit of a pause. Everyone starts typing the lyrics to Happy Birthday,
Yes.
and so I'm gonna count it down. So here we go.
It's to Kristen. Right?
Kristen.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Kristen. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. There's people singing it. There it is. There's a little bit of a delay between Hangouts and YouTube, a small delay, but there it is.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. And many more, and many more. Here's the thing, okay? I know I'm gonna say this, and this is getting to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to maybe loosen up a little bit. I know things are upside down at the moment, and people and things on the left are just totally unhinged. They've gone off the cliff. We all know that. They've gone off the cliff. They're flying. Their gravity's got a hold of them, and they're plunging to the bottom, to the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, they're plunging to the bottom, and they're going to hit the rocks. We're not going to hit the rocks. We're on the land. We're on land. We're grounded.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And we're going to survive. We're going to survive because we're grounded. We're going to survive because there's more of us than them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more of us. They just have a megaphone because it's CNN, MSNBC, other online presence. Okay, they have a bullhorn, but it's a bullhorn of like 10 people. Okay, so I think we all need to not get so bitter and down and say, you know what? We outnumber them. We're grounded. They have gone all the way to the cliff and over the cliff. So we need to stay grounded, stay together, laugh, have fun, let them see, you know what? This isn't bothering us. Okay. As a matter of fact, you're over there screaming and I've tuned you out. You know, if you want to live a miserable life, fine, go ahead. We're having fun over here. One day, if you wake up out of your being hypnotized, you come out of this being hypnotized, then you can come over and like, hey, you know what? This is pretty good. I kind of like it. Yeah.
Well, I think the sad part is people hang on to hate so much. You know, they get hurt or they just something happened in their life and they didn't like it. So they're hurt by it, whether it was something that was rationally or irrationally done, wronged or not wronged by them, but they didn't like it. So they hang on to this anger, they hang on to this bitterness, and it festers. And the only way they think that they can release it is by doing the same thing that they felt was done to them. So, and that's the problem. Like hearts are getting hardened, and with the young, there was an abortion clinic, or there was a pro-life rally at a campus, and they put these little tiny like grave markers in the foyer or the lawn of the campus, and the anti-abortionist, I mean the anti or pro-choice movement did their own protest, and they trampled through the graveyard, and one young girl goes, oh, that one's probably my baby, and she kicks the marker, and it was just like,
Mm. Well, it's funny. It's funny after the fact, after your mother and father, or especially the mother of
Mhm.
these pro-choice. Listen, we all know there's a lot of circumstances where women have no choice or whatever the case may be. We
Mhm.
all understand that, and that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's not, and we're never talking about that ever. And
Well,
I'm no holy roller, believe me. I don't go to church on Sunday. I'm no holy roller. I am a Catholic. I tell people right to their face I'm a Catholic. I could care less what they think of me and other things as well. But, I'm a rock and roll dude, this goth guy. I mean, look at me. I look ridiculous and all that and the other thing. But one thing is that you are born with common sense. You are born with fear, love, butterflies in your stomach, uncertainty, this, that, and the other thing. We're all born with these, what I call these basic instincts.
mhm.
And everybody knows they have that certain sickness in their gut. Like, okay, this isn't right.
Right.
This isn't right. Look, we
Mhm.
know there's circumstances, but this isn't like when you just have killing factories everywhere and it's become acceptable. Like, oh, I think you're pregnant. You know what to do. It's like, or like, we're talking all the way into 9 months.
Right.
And it's like, it's become, how could that become desensitized?
Mhm.
I mean, it's almost like going back to medieval times where they would have execution. It was on a public square. People were lined up for miles to see someone's head get lopped off. You know what I mean? I couldn't watch that. I mean, I would be like, oh my God, I can't watch that. I mean, I'd be throwing up, and, but it's almost like it's almost going back to medieval times in some way. So it's like a medieval, like we are in the 21st century. We have 21st century technology, and it's almost like we've gone back into some sort of medieval, with torture chambers and like killing, and it's kind of bizarre. It's a bizarre
And
mixture.
this whole generation now with social media and the cyber technology and all this kind of stuff, like, somebody just came in here and tried to do something and it didn't work, but the thing about it is like these people have become so calloused and that they don't realize what they're doing, and they do it all in jest. They do it, they think it's funny, they think it's hilarious, and they have no clue. Like,
No,
there's no respect
no.
for other people anymore.
Yeah,
There's
it's like
no
what? How does it feel? How does it feel to be somebody drinking the Kool-Aid? How does it feel to be in the Jim Jones compound? Because that's where they all are. I said it. I say it over and over again, but it's the honest to God truth. They are all in a Jim Jones compound, and they're all just yes. Nobody is saying, "Oh, wait a second, hold on," because that one person could never do that in a Jim Jones compound. Because in the middle of the night, they would drag him out in the jungle and shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's heartbreaking because there's so people are losing awesome, wonderful, great things, relationships, experiences, conversations, and they're losing it over something so tiny and so petty and so silly that their ego gets in the way, their pride gets in the way, and and it's just like, if you would just take a second, walk away from the emotion, whatever you feel, because some people can't comprehend certain things. That it's unfortunate, but one thing people can do, they can walk away from the situation and try to look at it from the other person's perspective. We may, like Elijah was just in here, I can see he's a good person, he's trying to do what's right, but I don't think because he disagreed with me he's trying to do something wrong. he has information that he believes that is right, and he is going to speak up about it because he's trying to do what is right. And I hope that I come across as doing the same thing, even though we don't agree. Our intentions are the same. And that's the problem, is people like with the same intentions but don't agree on the same thing, how their intentions they change, and they became from helping somebody to hurting somebody. And
Yeah.
that's the thing I don't understand. That makes me that
I
you know
mean, we all are in the same foxhole together.
Mhm,
I said I keep saying these things over and over and over again because I'm hoping other people are going to use it. That's why I do it.
mhm,
But we're all in the same foxhole together. We're in this foxhole, in this trench. It's muddy, it's
mhm.
wet, it's either hot or cold or whatever. We're all in this foxhole together because we all come together because we know there's this looming doom of the enemy that's coming towards us, and we all got together and realized that okay, we got to stop this. Now, all of us in that foxhole, there's going to be nuances in there. We're all not going to completely, maybe not really like each other or not agree on certain things, but we all came together and realized, no, we got to fight. We got to get together and come together, become one, and fight off this enemy trying to destroy just a normal human life of happiness, having fun, all those things that they're trying to deem ugly, or especially the natural balance between men and women. Men and women like to flirt with each other and have fun and
Mhm.
things and they're trying to make it ugly. That if a man, especially with men, it's really, they're targeting men. If a man is like says, hey, you look really nice in that dress, it's like, oh, that's some sort of evil male gaze and this, that, and the other thing. They're trying to just, I mean, it's just becoming
Oh
complete
yeah, you're
nonsense. It's
right
nonsense.
now. You're a white Christian man. You're the enemy right now. Everything you do is evil, according, that's what they're trying to portray, is it the evil white Christian man is trying to oppress everybody else. They want to oppress women, they want to oppress the minority. And it's funny because if you look at America, who fought in the Civil War to free slaves? That was Christian white men. Who are the men sacrificing their lives in other countries right now to ensure that are making sure that other people have their freedoms?
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
And I'm not saying the military is all white men, but if the majority are white Christian men.
well,
And I'm
for
not
instance,
saying
okay,
white Christian men
here's
all
the thing.
anything like that, but we're not I'm not a man. White Christians are not the enemy.
Are you sure you're not gender confused? Are you sure you're not gender confused? I mean, if you're confused about your gender, you can always unsnap your pants and take a look if you're confused.
I don't even have to go that far. Yeah.
I mean, really, honestly, it's really that easy. If you're confused, honestly, you're like, oh, I'm not, I don't know what gender I am. Really, it's pretty easy because you're either, I don't want to get into the gruesome details, especially if you're a woman. I mean, honestly, how could you not know if you are a 30-year-old woman and
30.
there's a certain time of the month where Aunt Flo comes knocking at the door, and how could you not know what's going on? Doctor, I don't know what's going on every month. It's just, I don't know. I feel drained, and then there's this thing that happens to me. It's like, that's because you're a woman, goofball.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that? I wasn't taught that in school. I don't know what that is.
Version. Yes, that's so true. The vast majority of men are fought during the Revolution were all white Christian. Yeah, exactly. It was Christians who almost ended the Islamic slave trade too. It was never completely ended, but it was severely curbed. Ironically, Obama was elected. And see, and that just rational thinking, what you just said, just irks me because you're true. You're right. You're right. I'm not irking at you, but like, and that's the thing that irks me is like, why are they not seeing this? Like, Omar had another one of her like ridiculous tweets about, you know, pro pro-choice, tweet. I was like, are you kidding me right now? You talk about you are a woman for the minorities, but yet if you looked at the beginning of Planned Parenthood and the founding member, Margaret Sanger, she was a Ku Klux Klan fan. Her whole ideology was to eliminate the minority class and to eliminate the so-called undesirables.
Yeah, well, she was a Fabian socialist.
Mm-hmm.
Is what she was.
And all these people who use their victim card, they're all freaking conditioned, and they're they're so absorbed in this victim mentality because that's the easy way, is to play victim and to ask for sympathy instead of working hard. And that's what they've been told, and that's what they've been conditioned to, and that's what they've been taught. But the thing about it is the people who are telling them to be the victim, to be to use this sympathy, because the sympathy is only going to get you so far. People are going to feel sorry for you, but if you keep playing that card and card, people are going to get tired of it because they know you're more capable.
She can go back, man.
Mm-hmm.
She can go back. She can go back to Somalia and get into a boat with the rest of the pirates and their slingshots and go try to take down a giant cargo tanker with mercenaries on top with machine guns. She can go back to Somalia and have a good old time, since this place is just so terrible. I mean, what an oppressed woman she is. I mean, how much money does she make? Is it 100? What is the beginning salary? 120,000 a year?
90,000.
It's 100. What'd you say? 190,000?
For Senate, it's 190.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I wish I was making $190,000.
What's the salary for Congress?
I mean, this is it's getting to a point where it's just one big giant clown shit show is what it is. And it's like I say, we're grounded. We got our feet on the ground. We got our roots into the ground. We're grounded people.
I Googled it and I was like, what? The salary in 1789 for a congressperson was 50 cents, and that was all per diem.
Well, hey, you know what? I mean, listen, they don't do it. Should go back to that. I mean, because what are they doing? What are they doing? They're not doing anything.
Okay, yeah, it is 174, so not as high as
$174,000. And what is she doing? What is AOC doing? What are these freshmen that just what are they doing? They're not doing anything. They get these people, they get these young kids in high school and college to be like production, like PAs or they come in and they're doing all kinds of work for them, and they have other people that are sitting down and going through all the papers and everything and doing and highlighting everything. They just come in like an actor who walks on set. Okay, this is exactly how it is. If anyone thinks for 1 second that she's in office all day long, putting in the hours, trying to figure everything out, you are being clueless, because that's not what's going on. Like I say, they're just like actors. They show up on set. Everything is already done for them. They do their lines and then go home.
Right.
That's exactly how Congress is.
Well, AOC is a perfect example. I believe AOC is she's a social experiment. She was basically hired. And I mean, the stuff that she says, she hasn't researched it because it's just plain nonsense. And I
don't care.
Is they will
I don't care.
Laziness. She's a very pretty girl.
I don't care.
Pretty.
Yeah, until she opens her mouth.
And then she's sitting there like she's this authority on these, a huge array of subjects. She's a, this scholar on history. She's a scholar on economics. She's a scholar on, environmental.
More like Scourge.
And, all of these, she talks as if she's this, researched, educated woman. And it's like, come on, like you have, I mean, what's her political science? So come on, I think that was she political science, and I forgot what.
Yeah, make Alexandria bartend again.
And
That's what it should be.
she walks around as if, I mean, the arrogance on this child, because that's what she acts like. This
I
arrogance
don't care.
is just like, yes, and then
I
this
don't care.
like, oh my gosh, read a.
I started the conversation at least. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. She's like,
I don't care.
she is talking about what she's being told.
Green New Deal. Oh yeah, she sat down and figured it all out. She
Yeah.
got what she did is she painted her wall with, she got that chalkboard paint and she painted her wall black, and then she got chalk, and she was like Albert Einstein trying to figure it all out, volcanoes and automobiles, and she was figuring out everything, and then she came to the conclusion that in 12 years it's all gonna end. Are you freaking kidding me? Who's believing this BS?
Yeah, she's a nut. She's just a nut. That's all she is. She's a puppet. She's
What kind of nut? Peanut, Brazilian,
crazy nut.
walnut, chestnut. I don't know. I think she's probably a chestnut. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm thinking she's a chest.
I still was cracking up when she was talking about the
Beto.
three branches of Congress, she said.
I'm getting my hair cut like a little boy, everybody.
Congress. It's
Like a little boy. He's running for president. He's getting his hair cut like a little boy.
it was so funny because there was a parody account on Twitter, and this parody account was so good. It actually sounded like stupid stuff that she would say that would respond. And somebody's like, this is a
Yeah, like they told me that my car, ran on oil. So, I went down to the supermarket and I got vegetable oil and put it in my car because it said oil. And the funny thing is my engine just blew up. I don't understand. They said oil, baby oil. I don't know.
Yeah, she's definitely. And then she was all upset. She tweeted one day because she had to work more than 40 hours a week. And I was like, girlfriend, welcome to California, because anybody who has a home or has any bills works more than 40 hours a week, and then has to drive the roads, and then has to pay the exorbitant the taxes on gas and registration. So there
should be a new reality television show called Your Common Sense, right? And then it's like we get AOC and all these other people that are in DC, and they have to do basic common sense. Let's see how smart they are. I guarantee you, if there was a car, like AOC, for instance, there was a car over there. It's like, AOC, there's 4 flat tires. What are you supposed to do?
I don't know.
Like when
I don't know.
Obama was in office, nobody treated him even though he was actually he legitimately was destroying the US. Nobody.
He's just a good actor. Yeah,
he was very charismatic. He was very well.
Good actor. I didn't like him, but I could see right through his BS. But
nobody disrespected him. You didn't see anybody getting beat up for wearing an Obama shirt. You didn't see anybody getting beat up because they had an Obama sticker. You didn't see cars being torched or keyed or bashed because they had an Obama sticker.
No,
crazy.
No. That's because the people doing that now are like 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And being told by their parents, "You're special. There's no one like you." Oh, okay. Oh, did you pee and poo? Here's your trophy for pee and poo poo.
Yeah.
Here's your trophy for finishing all your vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your trophy for just showing up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no incentive. They don't want this indoctrination of telling your kids to go to school. And if you, I like, it would bother me. Like, I never pressed my son to be in sports or any extracurricular activities, because here's the mentality that they have these AP classes, because if you want to get into good college, you got to have your AP classes. And then,
Or a lot of money and connections.
Mhm. And then you got to work really, really hard to get into college, because in college you need a degree to get a really, really good job. Here's a problem I have with jobs. I think jobs are ridiculous. I think jobs are horrible, and they've ingrained this in our thinking. Because here's the deal. And I'm not putting, please don't, feel, I hope I don't make you feel bad, because we all have had jobs. The thing about a job versus owning a business is that when you have a job, that person you work for controls where you live. They control what time you wake up. They control what time you spend with your family. They control a lot of your life. And that's the problem I have, is they try, instead of teaching our kids industry, teaching them business management, innovation, they don't teach any of that. What happens is we now, I've traveled 28 countries, I've traveled the world, and you know what the sad thing is? Things are looking the same everywhere. There's Starbucks everywhere. There's, McDonald's everywhere. There's, Ray Kroc, the owner of McDonald's. He didn't originate McDonald's itself, but I don't know if you know the story of Ray Kroc, but he basically was the milkshake repairman for McDonald's, and he was constantly going to McDonald's to repair their milkshake. And it was because the milkshake machine was constantly being used, because the McDonald's brothers was the one who invented the fast food idea. And so Ray Kroc was the one who invented franchises, right? Franchise is actually a really good thing if you are the franchise owner. But anyways, that's a different story. But the different subject is that 10%, so only when this country first started, only 1% of people, 10% of people were actually employed, and the 90% were business owners. And now it's reversed. And it's probably even 1%. It's probably even less than 10% at this point in time. And that's the problem, is we're getting we're getting monopolized by these huge corporations, Walmart, Costco, and
Well, yeah.
they make it almost impossible to
Lex Luthor.
yeah. Well, like in California, it is almost impossible to be a small business and be able to make money. And
I
there's
bet you FedEx and UPS didn't see that coming with Amazon.
Mm-hmm. But I do have a confession. Whenever I go to an airport and I've been in a country where the food just wasn't my thing, I was always thankful for McDonald's, because I swear, like, not eating for a month.
McDonald's.
They taste so good.
McDonald's. I go to McDonald's in the morning. I get my black coffee, and then I get my egg McMuffin, and then I smoke my cigarette. And McDonald's is I love McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh, and Kristen says happy birthday to happy birthday. She says thank you to everybody, and to you too, Father.
And many more. And many more. Here's the thing, everybody. We all got to start laughing and have fun.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. We got to start laughing and have fun. I listen. I am. We all know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Can't ignore what's going on, but we can't get to a point where we're becoming these bitter people. Because if that's what's happening, you're not any better than these far leftist, joyless, a-holes trying to not be, there's a lot of foul language on here. Believe me, I want to use some bad language, but we can't be bitter. These people are bitter, and we can't become like them.
For all our late night listeners, please feel free to show your appreciation at our PayPal link. It's
Oh yeah, I mean, if you guys could, anything, a nickel, a dime, some loose change in the couch, anything would help if you could. Just please donate.
yes, we need our coffee in the morning.
Yeah, my cigarettes and my black coffee.
Cigarettes and black coffee. I never understood that. I was like, oh, what?
We're taking a huge leap of faith. In case you guys don't know, we're taking a huge leap of faith. We are going to be hitting the road. We're taking the show on the road. We're going to be checking out all you other content makers. Thank you, DM. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to be taking the show on the road. So one, we need your prayers. Two, any
Yeah.
encouragement would be greatly appreciated, whether it's prayers, thoughts, love, donations.
Yeah.
Help us finance this, because we are trying to keep our Patriots united. We want to keep our video owners open, not Wally World, and we want to tell good stories too. We want to. So if you guys have any cool ideas or cool stories or cool places to visit, we can share with you guys. Let us know and give me an email. Send us your email. Subscribe to our website, because we will be keeping in contact with you, letting you know where our stuff is and our next event, and look forward to our kickoff in Florida. The date is to be announced.
Uh-oh. Florida.
Florida.
Oh, jeez. I'm telling you, once you get in here, you'll never be able to get out. Never.
You got into the name. Yeah. We're still not caught up in the amount of money we've invested in. Obviously, this is low budget.
Yeah.
It's
beyond low budget.
The lighting,
we can't even afford low budget.
Yeah, maybe one day. No, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you something right now. Oh, honey, I'm an expensive person to have around, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, I'm an expensive person to have around, and
Yep.
we need as many donations as possible, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have lights.
Damn.
I don't have all my lights on. I'm trying to conserve energy right now. I'm trying to be green.
Well, I mean, what's going to happen is what we're going to do, we're going to do something very revolutionary, okay?
Rational Wrong Thinking wants to know when we'll be in his neck of the woods. Well, we'll once we figure out how to put pontoons on the RV.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Where's he at again?
Aussie.
Where's that? Where?
He's an Aussie.
Oh, Australia.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem. What we'll do is we will drive the RV into a giant cargo container. That cargo container will be lifted onto a cargo ship. That ship will go to Australia. Then they'll take, then the cargo container will be taken off. Mm-hmm. Doors will open up. We'll drive out, and then we'll be in Australia. As simple as that.
See, I want to do a show with Drop It Like It's Scott, because just a little FYI, when I was little, I used to belong to a gun club. I used to shoot with my dad. I used to reload. I used to do all that fun stuff. So I want to challenge you to a, little target practice.
Everything tries to kill. Well, I mean, Florida.
It would be fun. We can edit to make it look like I win.
Florida is a lot like Australia. Pretty much everything here is trying to kill you.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's that?
Even the trees. He says, I will win. All right, let's do it. All right, it's on.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you get into southern, central, then you get down in the south Florida. I mean, there's, I mean, you name it. I mean, there's native and then there's non-native now because of all the hurricanes and people like, oh, I'm gonna buy this this giant venomous snake or this giant boa or whatever, and
Mhm.
Oh, it's so big now. Then they just let it go in the Everglades, and then before you know it,
Mhm.
they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna. Well, I was what it a recommended video came up on my feed, and it was really weird because I'm heading to near San Antonio, and this place that was on my recommended YouTube feed was not too far from my sister's place. And it was this guy or this family, and they were moving a small like shed. It was like a 10 by 10. And they had one of those forklifts lifting it up, and there was a nest of snakes. I mean, like, and they were all rattlers. And
Are you sure that wasn't Washington D.C.?
Mm-mm. I think there was another one in Washington, D.C., but that was a whole entire house. This was just and that was with a different type of snake. It wasn't a lethal snake. It was just like a
You
garden.
just said nest of vipers, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that sounds familiar.
No, rattlesnakes. These are rattlesnakes.
Yeah, I mean they're vipers. They're vipers.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh
I haven't
oh. Uh-oh.
What?
There's an issue.
What's an issue?
I don't know. I'm sure you see it in there. It's popped up.
A duel.
I'm sure you'll see it.
Tell me.
It's in Hangouts.
Uh-oh. What's in Hangouts?
You don't get it when it comes up. It doesn't make a noise.
No, because I had to turn it off.
Oh well, I mean, go look. I'm telling you, so look. For God's sakes.
Oh,
Spirit of the age.
okay.
Spirit of the age, everyone. Spirit of the age.
Okay.
Spirit of the age.
All right.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
I'll be driving this RV.
so anyways, our hour has gone into almost 2 hours.
Oh my God.
I had 2 pet rattlesnakes. They're good snakes, except for my pygmy rattler. Ooh. Good luck with that one. I had a neighbor who had kept rattlesnakes.
Oh my God.
But
So-
you, I wasn't talking to you, I think.
So
I got his dog, and my father-in-law's dog died of a rattler snake.
So I think it's, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting to be about that time. It's time for us to do the Happy Trails tune.
All right.
And we'll do it. We're going to do it in a count of 3, 2, 1. Happy trails to you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in as always. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, and if you could donate $1 million, that would be great. Or just buy $1 million in t-shirts. That would be absolutely phenomenal. So Sunday night is another night, and we will be on as usual. And again, I can't thank you enough for coming on, and all the new people and the people that have been around since day one. We certainly do appreciate it. Anything on the outs before we go here, Christiane?
I love you guys. Thank you. Join us tomorrow night. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and see you later. Bye.